Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting back into? We are getting back into Married at First Sight Australia. We are now on series 11, episode 15. Yay, we made it here at last. But before we get into this episode, as I always ask my dears, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know I'm on and doing videos. And let's jump into this episode. So, as we know from the previous episode, two new couples have come in. We have Michael and Stephen, we have Madeline and Ash, and now we have the very last couple of the experiment coming in, which is Ridge and Jade. So as we get to the next morning, we see a bit of Michael and Stephen, we see a bit of Madeline and Ash. We see that Stephen is still apprehensive in regards to the information that Michael gave him previously. He still doesn't want to feel like he's Michael's fill-in or his backup. And all I can say is that Stephen needs to take this slow, have this conversation with Michael, and don't beg drama where there doesn't need to be drama at the end of the day. But Michael is aware of Stephen possibly feeling second best and will have those conversations with him. We see Madeline and Ash getting ready for their honeymoon. I don't know how she brought so much shit, but it did not fit in her suitcase. Some of it needed to go in Ash's suitcase too. So we then get to Cassandra and Tristram. Not good vibes between them at all. Like, they were both in their apartment together. It was absolute silence. They had gone to sleep on the same argument, didn't speak to each other. When Cassandra did try to speak to Tim again, he basically kept on saying, well, it's all blame Tristan time. I'm used to being blamed X, Y, and Z. So again, Tristan is not ready to listen to what it is that Cassandra is saying at all. So Tristan then gets up and leaves. Tristan, my books, doesn't want to leave his comfort zone. He doesn't want to leave his comfort zone at all. So Cassandra says at this point she's over it. Tristan is too insecure and it's draining her, trying to literally keep up with this man each time that he falls into these funks. She can't keep doing it 24/7 because that's what it will do. Negativity at a point will start to bring you down to their point of negativity, and then you'll be both draining each other, going back and forth. There's got to be a breakthrough somewhere. So the other couples who didn't get the invite to Madeline and Ash's wedding now will be going to Ridge and Jade's wedding. We do meet Jade, and she does have a daughter as well. She had a daughter quite young, was hoping to get married to the father of her daughter, but as it transpired, Geezer decided to cheat on her with her best friend of all people. So now she's hoping that this experiment will be able to find her slice of happiness, because she wants her daughter to see her happy too. In terms of Ridge, I think his attitude borders on arrogant. He tries to say it's not arrogance, it's confidence. I'm hoping that he's got substance in there, because this man acts frat boyish, especially with his two boys. And they have a saying that if a woman's decent, they call her Dees. It's Dees. They kept saying that through the whole fucking wedding. It was annoying as fuck. It was so annoying. It really was. I wanted to smack the dude in his mouth myself. You see all the OG couples coming for the wedding, and Jade really does have high expectations. Me, myself, at this point, I don't know if I think she will be disappointed in him or not. Because she wants someone mature, but this boy acts like a frat boy. He's not necessarily mature in his attitude, especially when he's around his boys, it gets worse. So I don't know how that's going to go down. Anyway, I understand that some people can make jokes, when their nerves are off the charts. But this man made jokes all the way through his vows, and I was kind of thinking, is there going to be any seriousness to this shit at this point in time? Because what he was saying did not bowl me over. Made his friends laugh, made his mother laugh, his dad had his head down, and I'm thinking, I'm sorry, but if that was my son, I'm sorry, I'd be embarrassed. Because I'd be like, why are you being this way on your wedding day? Like, seriously, this is where you're supposed to put your best foot forward and show this woman that this is the level that you're at. The only level that Ridge was showing at that point in time was he's at kindergarten level, he's at nursery level. He ain't reached past that yet. But then it wasn't until the end, coming right to the end of his vows, that he actually threw away the motherfucking jokes, thank God, and actually spoke truth in his words about where he was, and talked a little bit more about himself and showed a little bit more about he was. Yes, he has this playful side, but that can get hella annoying quite quickly. Jade and the sister were honestly questioning his maturity at that point, because she honestly wanted someone mature. Even her best friend Ria was questioning his maturity. It wasn't until he came out at the end with those vows that he managed to change Ria's mind, and I thought that was quick. That was quick. I think you should hold off and wait and see how he deals with everybody else when it gets to wedding breakfast, before you, like, you know, you say this guy is quite mature, with someone that Jade will like, they'll be able to bounce off each other, because at this point Jade still ain't told this guy that she does have a daughter at the end of the day. So it kind of isn't just Jade, she's a package deal. And this is what I mean with the experts picking someone for Jade. What they had to do is not just pick for Jade, but also pick for the daughter as well, because this is the person that potentially could come into the life of her daughter. She don't want to screw her daughter up with no dickhead at the end of the day. She needs to make sure that this man is mature enough to know and how to deal with, I think she said she was 8 or 9 years old, her daughter, how to deal with her daughter at the end of the day and be a good role model. She don't need no bullshit character. So she did end up, as it were, telling Ridge about her daughter. At first it was kind of like cringe, because it was silence and I don't know which way he was going to go, but he did take it rather well, because he then told her about his experience with that, with regards to his own family. He had the experience, so he couldn't wait to meet her daughter at the end of the day. I'm just like, well, just play it cool, play it by ear, and then we'll see if you get to meet little Jade in the making. So they end up going and having their first dance. They were quite good, and Ridge has got some moves, because Ridge started doing a little dance for her until they got into the dance together. And now we see John, one of the experts, actually having a visit to Cassandra and Tristan in order to work through the situation that they are currently going through. Cassandra was the one that reached out to him and said, look, we need help, we need support here, we are actually drowning. So Casper turns around and says that she's struggling with Tristan not being affectionate, and she feels that they are just friends, or she's just a friend to him. And this is what I mean, this is what Tristan is not getting, in terms of him not listening to what it is that actually Cass is saying. He's missing out on the key points. Cass was not calling him boring. Cass was not calling the dates out or the stuff that he's planning as an issue. She was calling out everything else in regards to, she gets no cuddles from him, she gets no hugs from him, she gets no kisses from him. Even if it's just a hold of the hand, she doesn't get that from him, and she's literally begging for it, but he's not listening and seeing that. So Tristan does say that he wants to give her more, but he is stuck within the realms of the triggers for him, and he finds it hard to be intimate with people. So John then guides them at the asking questions, telling them that they need to ask questions about each other in the real world, have these little connections with each other, and tells them to start digging deeper, to the point where Tristan can feel safer to touch Cass, because Cass is an amazing woman, she really is, and she'd be so good for Tristan if Tristan just opens up that little bit more. Tristan does apologise to Cass, and Tristan turns around and said that he needs to learn to shut up and listen. And I said, yes you do, you really do. But he has said that he wants to give snuggles to Cassandra, which is, she said, I'd be happy with that. Even if we sit on the sofa watching a movie and you just got your arm around me, I'm happy with that. It's just the closeness. So we'll see if there's change there for them. So then it goes to Ridge and Jade, and I think this is the morning after their wedding. Yes, they have done the deed. Let's just put it out there. So Ridge again blows his own motherfucking trumpet. Says that he does like her, and says that Jade is in pole position because nobody other girl has got here before her. And I'm like, Ridge, man, come on, seriously, come on. Because you know what, you as well, you're lucky to have Jade because she's an absolute beauty. So then we see the other couples, and you see Stephen and Michael actually having the chat now in regards to how Stephen's feeling in respect of this situation. Stephen is still struggling that morning in terms of when they got up together, and Michael was reassuring him in terms of everything happens for a reason, and he was assuring Stephen that he is there to find happiness. He wants longevity, and he wants them to grow together as a couple, and basically tells Stephen that he's not a replacement at all. So all three of them booger off to their honeymoons. Then we see Ash and Madeline. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Oh Lordy, 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 Lordy. She does indicate to Ash that she is the type of person that can change with the weather. She 1 minute she'll be cool, next minute she'll be crying, next minute something else will be happening. I think Ash said that he could take that, that's fine, but I don't think he's seen it in the presence. So until he's actually experienced it, he don't know whether he can take it or not. So let's just say that Ash and Madeline first go on a walk in the countryside, and there's cows, and they go to see the cows. Madeline starts getting upset and starts getting a bit emotional because the night before she'd had dinner and she had steak or some type of meat on her plate, and now she's upset because she's now seeing these cows and she just ate them, or believes she ate some of them the night before. Ash couldn't get his head around it, like seriously could not get his head around it. Me myself, I couldn't get my head around it, because I'm like, you were sitting there gung-hoing into that dinner and you knew where the meat would have come from, but yet you go face to face with a cow and you start crying. Ash looked absolutely scared because she ended up opening the gate to go in the field to try and speak to the cows or stroke them, and all Ash kept on thinking is, I don't know if these motherfuckers are going to attack us or not, or run at us. What would we do if that happens? Ash looked hella scared but went along with it. So she was still crying and she kept shouting out, I don't know why I'm like this, why am I like this? And Ash was like, and I said, yeah, you're going to have to deal with this. You said you could do it. These are the natural occurrences of Madeline. You have entered the Madeline land, or the Madeline show now. That's where you have entered. There's no leaving. There's no leaving, Ash. You're going to have to deal with this. Okay? I don't know if she's testing him by going overboard a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see. So you see Michael and Stephen have a bath together. Seriously, nothing home to write about there. We haven't really seen much of Jade and Ridge past this point. And then you see Madeline and Ash at dinner. God. God save us. Poor Ash. Like, seriously, poor Ash. So she's there, all like light, airy, fairy, like she's ready to make a big effort with Ash and everything like that. They're getting on really well. They've had their dinner. Then all of a sudden it changes for Madeline. Her whole demeanour changes. She becomes quite silent and looks quite sullen. Ash is none the wiser. Ash just keeps talking and talking and talking, and to the point where he realises that she's gone. Like, she's gone. So she then pushes her head up and then says to Ash, did you go to a dead ball? Ash says yes. I'm like, oh, okay, is she really psychic? How the fuck would she have known that? So then says what happened at this dead ball. And again, I'm thinking this girl's a psychic medium. But then I thought to myself, if he said yes, if he went to a dead ball, if that's a message that come through to you, then you would know what happened at this dead ball. Do you know what I mean? So Ash basically said that he couldn't remember. He was about 16 years old when he went to this dead ball. So she then keeps on coming on and then telling him to shush, and she's saying all these people are coming forward and wanting to say things to you. And basically she's saying it's not telling me absolute questions or this, that and the other, or dealing with absolutes. I just don't know. And she was talking to these people, and Ash was sitting there like, do I talk? Do I not say anything? She's telling me to be quiet. She's saying I love you. Yes, I love you. I was like, yeah, no. Ash just looked at her like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, seriously, what is happening in front of my face right now? So she again turns around and says that they're telling her so much about him without telling her. And it was that point I was like, say what now? If they told you that he went to a dead ball, how can I not tell you anything else? Do you know what I mean? You're saying all these people are coming through wanting to speak to him, wanting to say things to him, but nobody's really clearly saying anything. I was I have to say at that point I was getting Annabelle vibes. Like, seriously, I was getting Annabelle vibes. She then gets up at the table and then leaves. And the woman comes down from the other end. I think she was a waitress, and she said, did I fine? And he was like, yeah, everything was fine. I was like, Ash is rattled. Ash is absolutely rattled by that. I don't know how that's going to... I don't want to be horrible, but I just don't know how that's going to work. I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't. So basically, Madeline has got into her little world and says that she feels like she was a weirdo and it was annoying as hell, and that's why she left. And I'm just like, how do they expect someone like Ash to take that on, though? Because I don't think Ash was expecting anything like that in the slightest. Yeah, but that's where the episode ended, and I'll be back very soon with the next episode. As I always ask, my darlings, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button, and I'll be back again with the next one. Peace out.